guys, so just before we get onto the tier list, if you are a supporter of mine, please check your inbox. You have, I believe, 24 hours for you to redeem the code, which will give you pretty much this. So yeah, you've got 24 hours to redeem the code. If you're a supporter of mine, you should have already the code sent to you. If you do need the code, just support your boy. I'll be checking quite regularly within the 24-hour mark, so that way if anyone new does choose to support me, I got you. And then once again, just a reminder, by all means, the giveaways are still active, so you're more than welcome to enter, and then come the pre-anniversary update, we'll get the winners going. Alright, so alrighty guys, so you guys know the drill. It is about that time. Let's get into where I deem fit GOTO RYUJI to be within the tier list. Now, I do want to do a little bit more shifting. I kind of want to be more real in terms of what I'm using, how I feel about certain characters, meta shifting, especially with what's to come next, right? So I think what I'm going to do, right, so let's start shifting a few units around. And I think what I'm going to leave Anna here. I'm actually going to put you down there. I'm dropping you down. I'm dropping you down. Even though the buff is good, I just, yeah, in terms of where Dark Element is at, Harper's kind of taking the cake. Again, with where Water Element is at right now, I do believe that with the pre-anniversary update, that will completely elevate the Water Element breakage. So I think Jiwoo will calmly and safely stay in the S rank tier. So I'm just going to kind of get ahead of myself on that part. For the most part, the supporters are nice. I'm gonna drop Emma down one, only because Azel is low. Actually, you know what? I'm putting Azel up to SS plus. She is a phenomenal fire type breaker. I absolutely love this character so much that I'm actually gonna deem her fit to be up there, of course. And I think for the most part, I know that most healers will be, well, main between these two will be bumped up to SS plus, but I'm gonna keep them at SS. I think that's fair enough. The Dark Girls need to stay where they're at. I'm happy with my SS plus because these are the characters that are low-key, that are absolute fire for the game right now. Jincho, I'm actually going to drop down to S plus 2, and I think for the most part, guys, I think that is kind of where I'm going to leave. Shimizu Akari, she's fine. Gina's fine. Joy Choi can stay at S plus. I'm happy with him. He's more of a debuffer anyway, so yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm going to be keeping that at. Okay, so this is kind of where I'm rearranging things right now in terms of where things are at right now for me personally, especially with the game going into each individual typing and whatnot, of course. So yeah, Malin stays at SS. Alicia, okay, so Alicia is currently at SS plus. I will say this. Actually, you know what? Should I just get ahead of the game? I'm gonna get ahead of the game. Okay, I'm gonna drop Alicia down to SS. She's still good. The core meta is still viable, but I'm gonna drop Alicia down by 1, because spoiler alert, anniversary character, water DPS. So, but with where water is at right now, it's still decent. But I think with Alicia, yeah, she's going to drop down to SS. I think that's kind of where I'm going to be keeping things at. Okay, I'm very comfortable with where things are at right now. This is kind of where I deem fit, where each character should be, with my experience going through all the element team content and whatnot, and obviously taking into consideration on what's to come for the future. So yes, I know some people might drop down Char, but I'm going to keep her as is because she's still fantastic. She's still one hell of a DPS character, so I'm going to keep that as there. But okay, GOTO RYUJI. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm not... He's not overly too crazy. I still stand by with my previous videos saying that how if you want to skip GOTO RYUJI, it's not a bad idea. If you want to maximize your first year anniversary summons, you get him during the first year anniversary. That might actually be the better play, the best play for, like, if you're free to play, if you're a low spender, even if you're a dolphin. Just putting that out there. Reason being is because, as I've stated before, he's more of just a small upgrade for the wind element, which is fantastic. You know, we'll take an upgrade, we'll take a buff. A buff is a buff. We ain't gonna be taking, you know, we'll take that. But it's not that big of a deal. It's not that crazy in terms of outside of, let's look at the breakage side of things. Extremely solid. I do prefer his breakage speed compared to Jinchul. Just gonna put that out there, but both are perfectly fine. Like, but both are doing their breakage side of things, of course. If that's what you're into, you can still stick with Jinchul perfectly fine. The difference between the two, in my personal opinion, is that, of course, Amamiya is getting more support from GOTO RYUJI through the... oh wait, it's his fourth dupe. Sorry, his fourth dupe gives Amamiya that 24%, so 12% more than if you had Jinchul, of course. Now, the one thing which kind of bothers me is that his damage output isn't anything too crazy, and the fact that he's got buffs in place to where we can build up to give him the extra, let's say, 20% critical hit damage within his basic skill, as well as the damage increase with that. It's just like, even with all of that, you know, it's not delivering as much as we would like it to, you know. And I'm just like, damn, could they not have pushed that more towards for Amamiya? Like, could we not have had like an Azel 2.0 moment with GOTO RYUJI? I think that would have been phenomenal. If anything, that probably would have been the better path to take for this man. Don't get me wrong, he does good damage, but I'm not as excited to how I was with, like, for example, GOTO. Yeah, so, but he's still good. It's just things that I would have slightly changed up a little bit. But again, the breakage side of it is decent. The damage is meh. It's nothing too crazy. Yeah. But the breakage side of it, I do find that is extremely helpful in terms of spamming the second skill, so that way you being able to break is a lot more quicker, so that's pretty nice. And in terms of the buffs that he can stack, it's more for him, for himself, unfortunately. You know, kind of a bit of a selfish situation here with GOTO RYUJI, but it's more for him then to dish out whatever damage he can, which isn't exactly anything too crazy, unfortunately. And so that's just kind of one of my pet peeves for the man himself. But again, just to keep it real, boys, there ain't nothing happening with this man. There's nothing too crazy happening. It's realistically just one initial buff that's going towards Amamiya. Everything else really just caters to him. And then, of course, the breakage side of it is just kind of pretty nice. But outside of that, that's it. You know, again, it's just a small little upgrade in my personal opinion. That's how I feel about it. That's how I look at it. Don't get me wrong, cool character, loving the moveset, loving the visuals. You know, he's a fan for it. Looks like a badass, of course, so that love will always be there, of course. But if we're actually really looking at it, it ain't nothing much to really talk about, or to really get excited for, unfortunately. But he's a cool character. He's a cool character. Obviously, he also has that MP recovery, so that's a nice little bonus. Can't go wrong on that part. You know, keeping up with that consistency for the breaker to be at the ready. Having that MP regeneration at the ready too. So there are things in place. He's got things going for him. I mean, outside of just the critical hit damage, as well as the damage increase that he gets through the debuffs that he can apply onto the enemy, I mean, there are other bits and bobs that within his skill where he gets certain attacks, so like his reverse Tempest Stormblade gets an increased damage of 50%. So he's got like damage increases here and there, of course, but it's just like, I don't know. For me personally, it's a little bit like, damn, could we have not catered more to Amamiya? Because Amamiya still is, I mean, currently right now top 2 in terms of DPS, of course, and well, the consistency that is. Well, some people might say Thomas, but whatever. So with all that being said, I think I'm gonna put him in the low SS region. Low SS region is where I deem him fit. Now, I'll be lying if I didn't say that there is a part of me that wants to put him in the higher S+ region. So I'm kind of split torn, because again, I'm a fan, but at the same time I'm just like, he ain't hitting as we would want it to hit. But I do like the little bit of, it's just a small upgrade. Okay, I'm gonna leave him at low SS. But yeah, I'm really contemplating S+. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna think too much into it. That's kind of where I deem him fit. Low tier SS, high tier S+. That's where I'm gonna leave it. That's from my experience when I'm using my GOTO RYUJI from the wind element. Slight upgrade at the most, not chase worthy. If you want to skip and pull him during the first year anniversary, might be advisable. Best play, to be honest, again, if you're free to play, low spenders, dolphins, etc., of course. Yeah, that's kind of it. Again, to finalize it like this, if you're not going for high investment, aka A4, don't bother. Simple as. Get him another time. You're not missing out much. My boy Jinchu is he's right there. He's right there. He's right beside him. He's right beside him. So it is what it is. Okay, yeah. That's where I'm leaving it, boys. That's where I'm leaving it.